Good morning, Year 3. It's the 3rd of February. I've got a newspaper article for guided reading, but one about astronauts today. Quick recap. What do you call the title of a newspaper? Well done, it's a headline. What's this line here called? Well done, it's a byline. What would you call that sentence underneath a photograph or a picture? Well done, it's a caption. What do we call this first paragraph, which is usually one big sentence or two? Well done, it's the lead sentence. And can you see that it's written in these long lines? They're called columns. So I know this is a newspaper article because it looks like one. Right, guys, let's have a read. So let's read the headline. It says, "Back to Earth with a bump." Can you tell me 5 things that headlines feature? Capital letters, present tense, alliterated, dramatic words, maybe bumpies, and they tend to be short. That's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. Well done. Right, so Back to Earth with a Bump. Reported by Amanda Kelper, media correspondent. Correspondent means reporter or writer. Okay. Last week, British astronaut Tim Peake returned home from an incredible 6-month stay aboard the International Space Station. And it's got in parenthesis here, ISS, and it's short for International Space Station. It takes its first letter and then makes it shorter because that's quite a long word. He returned home aboard the International Space Station alongside his crewmates. What are crewmates? Crewmates are the people in the spaceship. And his crewmates were Yuri Malenchenko and Timothy Kopra. He is the first British astronaut to have lived on the what? On the International Space Station. So he's the first one. Maybe that's why the newspaper article's about him. It says the men were launched. Launched means put in there, rocket style. The men were launched into space on the 15th of December 2015. The mission, their job, the mission involved conducting experiments. Conducting means doing experiments and testing out new technology, new kit, new stuff, and inspiring the next generation of space travellers. So hang on, he was there because he was doing experiments. He was there because he was testing out new technology. There's another reason as well. He was inspiring the next generation of space travellers. And inspiring means filling people with hope. Peake told reporters that the best part of his mission was a spacewalk, where he had to make a repair on the space station. And because it was a spacewalk, I bet you the repair was outside. That would be very exciting. Having circled the planet nearly 3,000 times, circle means going round it, and he would have circled Earth. Having circled the planet nearly 3,000 times, the crew, the people in the spaceship, the crew returned home to Earth in a capsule. Capsule is like, well, it's not a space rocket, it's a smaller version. They returned to Earth in a capsule which reached speeds of up to 28,000 kilometers per hour. Wow. The touchdown, that means landing. The touchdown was bumpy due to high winds. However, the astronauts landed safely in Kazakhstan. That's in Asia. They all returned in good health. Having arrived back on solid ground, the astronauts were pulled out of the capsule and carried as their leg muscles were too weak to walk. So they couldn't walk. because the leg muscles were too weak. Oh. Now in space there's no gravity, which means that your muscles don't have to work very hard. And if your muscles don't work very hard, they start to become weaker. And after all that time in space, his legs were too weak. While sitting in their spacesuits, the men were checked over by medical staff, doctory people. During these checks, Peake was asked how it felt to be home. And check out this. I can see, what's that? Yep, it's an inverted comma, so this must be speech. So Tim Peake is saying, the smells of the earth are so strong, and it's wonderful to be back in the fresh air. So the reporter uses what we call direct speech. Just allows you to hear what's happening, make it a bit more interesting. Right, where do we go now? We've got to the bottom. Oh, we go to the next column. Oh, it's a picture. Landing with a bump. Tim Peake lands safely in Kazakhstan. Oh, there he is being carried, look. And these are the medical people, the medical staff. Tim later flew from Kazakhstan to the headquarters of the European Space Agency in Germany. Headquarters means head office, the top office. So he flew from Kazakhstan to Germany, where he is getting used to life back on Earth. Scientists are carrying out tests to see how his body has been affected by his time in space, to see how his body has been changed by time in space. Peake recently commented on how he'd missed his family and friends, and even the rain. Tim said he was now looking forward to spending some quality time with his family. When asked if he'd return to space in the future, he replied, oh, he's speaking again, direct speech, in a heartbeat. What does that mean? I think it means he'd say yes really quickly, like a heartbeat. Having been recognised by the Queen for his services to science, Tim is now another abbreviation. What does CMG mean? It means a companion of the order. Nope, it's CMG. So companion of the order of St. Michael and St. George. And St. Michael and George were top saints, so now he's like a top saint. Tim is now a CMG. He dedicated this award to his entire team. Dedicated means he shared it with them because he thought they were really important. Ooh. Wow. So, Tim Peake, astronaut. I hope his legs got better. This word here, back to Earth with a bump. I think you could probably make a better one than that. Have a quick look at the questions. Number 1 is easy peasy. Number 2 is easy peasy. Number 3 is easy peasy. Number 3A, I've slotted that in. They didn't return in the spaceship. You've got to look more carefully for what they returned in. Number 4, explain the purpose of the mission. Use evidence from the text. Right, the bits here is important, guys. You need to go back into the text and find it. Don't just make it up. So what was the purpose? What was the job? What were they doing in space? Number 5 is easy peasy. That is in the wrong place, so let's just chop him out. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, it's all going wrong. It's that one I don't want. Can I just get rid of that then? I'll fix that, guys. That shouldn't be there. Oh, number 6. Let's have a look at number 6. Find and copy a phrase that shows that Tim would hurry back to space. It's the one about him wanting to go to space again. And it's a phrase that has more than one word. Okay, so have a look. What means he would go back to space really quickly if he could? And finally, what did Peake find hard about being on board the ISS for so long? When it says explain your answer fully, it means come up with 2 or 3 ideas. Not 1, but 2 or 3. Right, guys, look forward to your comprehension answers. I'm picking newspaper stories because in our literacy we're going to be writing another newspaper article, and it should look like that and it should start to sound like that, even if it's not about an astronaut. Okay.